to feel 5G, so 5 times the weight. Parachutes will come out, they'll land safely. Lots of
Here it
smiles.
goes.
This is clearly the beginning of it. Let's watch this together.
There it goes.
New Shepard has cleared the tower. Flight. 6,000 feet climbing. Begin throttle down for Q limiting. Engine response looks good. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Mach 1, vehicle is supersonic. Engine back up to full throttle.
Supersonic, we have passed through max Q, maximum
pressures look
dynamic
good.
pressure. That's when the vehicle, the stresses between the atmosphere
Passing
and the
47,000
speed
feet
are
and
at the
climbing.
maximum. So to punch through that is so important. You see the BE-3
Her head was
engines.
so far back when her hand on her heart, terrified, watching it all happen, but also excited. Wow.
Those ladies right now
I think they're in 3G. I think they just said they're at maximum.
on their way to space.
Ed Levendera, if you're still with us and you can hear us under the roar of that, how much preparation did they have for this flight?
300 miles an hour over Mach 3.
Not much. The crew showed up here in West Texas about 3 days ago, and they began the process of just kind of going through the safety briefings and understanding exactly what would happen inside the capsule and that sort of thing. So this is it kind of adds to when you hear Gail King talk about how nervous she is. I think all that kind of lends itself to that feeling, because it doesn't like you think that to go up in outer space you'd need a little bit more training than that, but that's the way it is. And it's been rather fascinating to watch this rocket launch here, John, as we were watching it go straight up into the sky. As it got farther and farther away, you could still see like the glow from the rocket, and then instantly it just kind of disappeared into the blue sky. So it almost gave you that sensation that it was passing into space there. So that was kind of a surreal scene, and it feels like it's directly overhead from us. And we're trying to figure out, looking to see if I can figure out where it might be now. It's almost impossible to see with our eyes here on the ground at this moment.
And Leland, one of the things that's discussed here is there was a debate at the beginning when they just started launching this kind of space tourism is, how far into space do they actually go? This just passes that Kármán line, which I don't pretend to really know much about, and that's why I lean to you in explaining what that indicates.
328,000 feet, 100 kilometers.
So 62 miles or 100 kilometers is where the Air Force designates space. It's where we're out of our atmosphere. And so that if you get to that point, that's when you're considered an astronaut.
Well, you can hear the oh my gods, and you saw Oprah there. Looked like she was crying or pretty emotional watching this, and you saw the Kardashians. I mean, it is a big promotional party, but this is a moment where you're having an all-female crew going up into space. They will be there for, say, 12 minutes or so. And, weightlessness is no joke. I'd like to experience that a little bit, but not the crushing 3G. No, thank you. I don't want to feel 3 times my weight. No, thanks. I'm not good with that. But look at that. They're almost there.
We saw a video of Katy Perry touring the capsule. We have been told the capsule has now separated from the rest of the aircraft. Obviously, they're about halfway through. I mean, they're now up there. I imagine now is the period where they will be weightless. Katy Perry said she intended to sing in space beforehand. One wonders what song she might choose.
Firework.
I'm going to go with it's just another first, because there actually have been a lot of firsts that Blue Origin, I think, Leland, you're even kind of noting this, is that Blue Origin has, while people can say what they will and should about the whole what everyone watches happening. Blue Origin has offered a lot of firsts for people who maybe had gotten passed over in previous attempts to make it to space.
Yeah, I mean, Wally Funk.
I think
was-
Katy Perry's
would have been
singing,
the
just to
Apollo
interrupt
astronaut.
you. Katy Perry's singing. Hold on one sec.
I have to say, I hope the other 5 passengers like Katy Perry music.
All right, Leland, you can go ahead. That was interrupted by whatever that
I
beeping.
don't
Do you know what that
recognize
noise is?
song,
It might be an original.
A
Leland.
though. No,
lullaby?
I was saying I don't recognize that song. Maybe it's a beatbox there or something. But you know, Blue Origin has done a really good job of giving justice to people like Wally Funk, who would have been an Apollo astronaut. She did the training, and she's just as talented as the other astronauts, male astronauts. And then also Ed Dwight,
And a great
who got
piece of
justice.
news there. All astronauts are back in their seats. You see the 2 craft
Okay,
now
so they're
that
coming back
on
down.
the
That was
bottom,
fast.
That is the rocket
Exactly,
that
by
is
design. They're only
standing
up
They're coming back
there.
down.
The rocket
That's too fast for Sarah Simon. Sarah Simon would stay up there for a little bit.
To its landing spot just 2 miles north of where it's taken off.
You're coming down when Blue Origin tells you to come down, Sarah.
It's pretty cool to watch, though. It's pretty cool, and it must be amazing being in it.
Comes into land.
Here it
Shortly
goes.
thereafter, you will see the drag brakes that
So the
deploy that will
rocket's
cut
coming
the
back
speed
first,
of the
and then the
rocket
capsule comes back.
in half, and then in the
This is
last
the rocket.
moments,
And there it is. We can see it from the stage.
there comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine. We're going to also see a sonic boom. We're going to hear that shortly here.
And remember, this is something that had never been done before until just a few years ago. Truly the stuff of science fiction that you're about to watch in just seconds.
Drag
There's
race.
that sonic boom.
Engine relight.
There we go.
Not for nothing, I think that's always the coolest part.
I
that thing
agree.
lands right back down on Swan.
Here on Earth, that's the coolest part. Yeah.
And that's the rocket, correct? We're going to see the capsule in a second.
They come down with a parachute.
Let's hope. And so they.
Booster touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard.
Picture perfect landing right there.
All right, so the
Perfect
cheers you're hearing
landing.
there.
On target.
Perfect
See, that
landing.
just kind of creates this
They get to
dramatic
reuse that. I'm assuming that's one of the big things here is that you're able to do this over and over and over again, and they have several times. This being one of those times. But this time you've got Gayle King, you've got Katy Perry, you've got several very well-known folks, celebrities, etc. on this flight, as well as a really important astronaut.
Leland, when you are coming down in a capsule, and I know various types of landing over the last several decades for NASA astronauts, but what's that like? What does it feel like, that slower descent?
Crew capsule, those are like the guide parachutes. There you go, the
Well,
guide
John,
parachutes.
you're coming back from space. You're getting like 5 Gs on your body. So they're feeling 5 Gs now before these parachutes come out. And it's, you know, you've been in space for a while and you're hard to lift your arms and things under that new Gs. But I see all the parachutes are starting to come out now, and they're going to be landing safely very soon.
Ed, you're there in West Texas. What's it like from there?
Yeah, it's the parachute. We saw the parachutes deploy here just a few seconds ago. Clearly, that's a huge sign of and relief for all the family and friends watching all of this closely. But that rocket booster returning to the launch site was quite something. That thing was like it almost looked like it, from our vantage point, looked like it was in free fall coming back for a moment. Then all of a sudden, those reverse thrusters turned on, and it slowed it down, and it just released a large boom that we could feel from the several miles away that we are. But we're continuing to watch the capsule, and it is far more east from the rocket, the launch pad, and from our vantage point, it is just now looking like it's touching the ground, and the parachute starting to descend to the desert floor here. So by all accounts, it looks like this has gone off safely, and assuming that everyone on board is doing well, but that capsule appears to be on the ground, safe and sound, with this star-studded crew on board.
Yeah, we are watching it just slowly descending now, comfortably descending.
A bit of a delay from end to
A little bit of a delay, yeah. But we just to mention that journalist Gayle King's there, singer Katy Perry is there, Amanda Nguyen, who's a research scientist, and Carrie Ann Flynn, a NASA rocket scientist on that flight. And this is, I mean, it's cool. There it is.
It is something, I have to say. It's
Yeah.
an amazing picture, particularly when those parachutes go out. And I think everyone has that moment when they're happy to see them unfurl, and now even happier to see it touch down safely.
That's right, with
Safe and sound. They will have
star-studded
story to
audience
tell.
for the star-studded crew in West Texas today. So we're going to keep an eye on this. There will be video that Blue Origin, of course, will be putting out from inside the capsule during their moments of weightlessness, and maybe then we can learn what Katy Perry was actually singing.
Okay, let's listen in now. There's Jeff Bezos opening the capsule.
Go see your babies.
Where are my babies?
Go over here. Go see them.
Where? Oh, we have to go
Right
there.
there.
Okay.
Katie!
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. I just have to have a moment with the ground. Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God. That was amazing. That was amazing.
I'm so proud. So proud of you.
Oh my God.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Feeler of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
We had these incredible shots of Daisy watching you as the rocket, it'll make me cry, as the rocket's going up, and she was so proud. Just kept saying, Mommy, Mommy. And I know you'll feel the same way when you watch it. And you brought a real life Daisy up.
That's
it was
right.
important for you, not only because it's your daughter's name, but why else was that important to bring it?
Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition. They go through cement, they go through cracks, they go through walls. They are resilient. They are powerful, they are strong, they are everywhere. Flowers are, to me, God's smile, but it's also a reminder of our beautiful earth and the flowers here and God's smile and the beautiful magic that is everywhere, all around us, and even in a simple daisy. So to really appreciate it and remember it and take care of it and protect it.
Gayle shared with us the song that you sang when you got up there. What a wonderful world. Why was that important to sing that particular song?
I've covered that song in the past, and obviously, like, my higher self is always steering the ship, because I had no clue that one day I would decide to sing a little bit of that in space. But I think that it's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. it's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it.
Before I let you get back to your family, I just have to ask you, describe for us, because you're so brilliant at putting, words together and describing moments that we can all appreciate later. How would you describe the moment when you took off and then the moment you landed?
The moment, it is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour. It's really incredible. Now I know I'm asking this question for your fans. Will you write a song about this experience?
Oh, for sure. 100%. And not only that, I got to reveal my set list for the tour on a butterfly. How apropos.
Incredible.
Just flying in space. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, so I'll just...
Well, there's a lot of things that you have done first. You are now officially an astronaut, and let me just tell you, on behalf of everyone here at Blue Origin, our webcast, and everyone, all of these individuals that put this incredible thing on, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your experience.
Is it a 10 out of 10. That's my review.
10 out of 10.
You definitely go for it. 10 out of 10.
I am so
floating. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I'm so proud of you. And I know that I speak for the collective, because you have been so honest. You've been so vulnerable. And I spoke to your best friend prior to you taking off, and I asked her why it was so important for you to do this. And she said, she said, so she didn't have to hear you say, I wish I would have done that.
That's so true.
But now, Gayle King, you are officially an astronaut. How do you feel?
I still can't accept that word, but I will say I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride. What happened to us was not a ride. This was a bona fide freaking flight. And our instructor, we were so well prepared. So every noise we heard, we knew. But the flight instructor said that I am her best success story. Why? Because she's never had somebody go through the course who's terrified of flying. Everybody who's gone through the course is somebody that it's been a lifelong dream. They wanted to do it. So she said, I'm her best success story. I'm so proud of me right now. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I was just going to say, prior to the launch, you said that you would be so proud of yourself if you went through with this. Yes. And you did. What was the best part, Gayle?
It's oddly quiet when you get up there. It's really quiet and peaceful. And you look down at the planet and you think, that's where we came from? And to me, it's such a reminder about how we need to do better, be better. Do better, be better human beings.
And what do you mean by that?
Processing. Well, it's so nasty and so vitriolic nowadays. And I mean, if everybody could experience that peace that we had up there, and the kindness and what it takes to do what we did, all the people that it took to get us up there and get us back safely, I'll never, ever, ever forget.
This morning, an all-female flight crew is back on Earth after traveling to the edge of space in Blue Origin's latest tourism mission. 6 passengers, including Gayle King and Katy Perry, were launched 62 miles into the sky on a voyage that lasted just about 10 minutes. It was only 10 minutes, but look at the reaction, so emotional there. For good reasons. We're joined now by former NASA astronaut Michael Massimino. He is also the author of Moonshot, a NASA astronaut's guide to achieving the impossible. Thanks for being here. Look, this flight, it went just over 60 miles into the sky, and as I said, it was just about 10 minutes. You've been to space. What is the view like from that height?
It's pretty amazing, Pamela. Even if my missions were a few weeks long with NASA, this is a little bit different, of course, just about 4 minutes of weightlessness in space. But the spacecraft they were on was designed for a tourist experience. So the windows are huge and everyone gets one, so you don't have to fight over the view. So they each have a chance to take a great look at the planet and see the thinness of the atmosphere. So it's a beautiful experience. I'm glad it all went well for them, and interested to see what they have to say now after they've been there.
And even just getting that view and having that experience, it can really be life altering, right?
It was for me. You know, you hear a lot about it. You know, people describe it. We can see IMAX movies now, which give us a really cool experience of what it's like up there. But when you actually see it, it really can be life changing. For me, what went through my mind, there's no words to describe the beauty of the planet. But for me, what went through my mind was this is what heaven must look like. It was an absolute paradise I felt like I was looking into. You also see the thinness of the atmosphere and see how fragile it is. And also with my experience was, I think sometime around in my second space flight, maybe about halfway through looking at the planet, I got this sense of that is home. And when I think of home now, Pamela, I think of Earth. I don't think of where I grew up on Long Island or being in New York, or I think home is planet Earth, and it's a place we all share.
I love that. So tell us about, I just love this video and the emotion, and you know, they're just trying to process, oh my gosh, I was just in space and now I'm back on Earth. I mean, it was just a short time, right? But what kind of training and preparation goes into a mission like this?
Well, for this, it's a little bit different than my colleagues, what I went through and my colleagues are going through at NASA and other places where they're professional astronauts. Now, you're talking years of training. It was 6 years of training before I got to go into space. In this case, it's more like a couple days for them, but it's really to make sure that they're going to be safe and that they can enjoy the experience. So it's mainly how do you get into your seat, how do you get out of your seat, and how do you get back into it in time for the landing so you're in the right position when you're coming down. And so there's lots of scenarios that could take place in, different attitudes, different positions, different conditions. So I think that was primarily what they went over, and the workings of the rockets and how to launch and what's going to happen when the parachutes come out, what it's going to feel like, trying to get them prepared so they're not surprised by the physical parts of the mission and what they need to do in case of an emergency, and they can concentrate on enjoying the experience.
You know, this is just another example of space tourism no longer just in science fiction, right? What do you think of celebrities being launched into space like this?
Well, I think it's all good. I think it's a good thing. We're having this conversation, Pamela, because there was a couple celebrities on board, right? It was the first all-female space crew. So, you know, these are things that get people's attention, and then they see that, they hear it, they're going to hear about, you know, Katy Perry or Gayle King talking about their experiences. And maybe they'll get to learn a little bit more about the space program and about achieving goals. And I think that is really what the value is here. I think it's great that they got a chance to experience this personally, each one of those individuals. But I think it also gives us something to talk about and learn a little bit more about the space program. And the future I think is really unlimited now that it's not just governments going to space, but also these commercial companies. I think the possibilities are really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully one day space tourism will be accessible to everyone, right? That is the hope. Michael Massimino, thank you so much.